until we get more research and all those things. So it's really too bad. I very disappointed. I mean, he's a super senior and he missed an opportunity. And I thought Chad Alexander did an outstanding job fielding punts. I mean, there was probably 3 or 4 of those punts that had we done it like we did in the first week when Manny was in there, they might be on the 2-yard line. Instead, we start on the 20. So, I mean, I'm sure Manny's really disappointed in multiple facets of it, but he's doing good. So we'll have him back soon, hope. Go ahead, Brandon.
Last time you played Air Force was kind of the peak of the struggles of the kicking game last year.
Oh, yeah.
How much stability is in the kicking game right now?
I think Andrew's got a lot of confidence. I thought Aaron Rodriguez punted the ball a lot better on Saturday. We covered the ball a lot better on Saturday because of the hang time he was given. We had a net average of 50 yards on punt, which is unbelievable. I mean, if you can average a net yard of 50 punts, you're going to be really good. You change the field position dramatically. Now we got helped out by Garrett letting a couple of those balls bounce, and we gained some very positive yards by that. And that's how important that position is. Last year in the first half, we got out physicaled on defense and they scored 3 touchdowns. It was 21-0. And then we gave ourselves an opportunity in the second half with all the turnovers, but we never capitalized on offense. So they've been reminded of that. Now, reminding of things and them not coming out and performing is going to get really old to me and to everybody around here. So we've got to get better. We've got to coach them better, so that if we have opportunities like that, when we get opportunities like that, we got to capitalize on them. There's a lot of things that you can learn from that game from last year. I mean, it was a 28-0. I've never been involved in a 28-0 game that was as close as it was because we had opportunities in the second half 5 times inside the 50-yard line and came away with no points. That's coaching. Okay. You don't have that many opportunities and you're not successful. So we have to do a better job. Go ahead, Jared, and then Roger.
Just talk a little bit more about the matchup. Obviously, you're going to have to try to stop that run game, averaging over 350 yards a game. Just talk about that.
Number 1 rushing offense in the country against Utah State in a loss, 49-45. They had 620-some yards of total offense. Last week against FAU, 516. And they're the number 1 rushing offense in the country. Quarterback does a great job of delivering the ball. Now, he does make some mistakes. He played well against us last year. I think their fullback is their best player. Physical. I mean, they play the game. I love the way football is played in a very aggressive, mean manner. He plays it the right way. Mike Davis is as fast as they come. The number 0, one of their slots. And then, I mean, David Cormier's got great hands. He can get open. He's a big receiver. They have a tight end that does a really good job. I mean, they're really hard to defend, and they believe in what they're doing. They're not changing because of what we do on defense. And there's been years that we've had success. There's been years like last year where we couldn't stop the fullback in the first half. If you let the fullback get started, you're in trouble. If he keeps banging his head on the goalpost, they can score 60 points quickly. So we've got a great challenge of being physical and not letting him get started, and then try and get the quarterback to make mistakes. He doesn't make very many. He's a great player, and he's got a lot of experience. So the series between the two, I mean, we were in the Western Athletic Conference together before the Mountain West Conference. We've played them. The series is 24-14 them. They've had, I mean, I was reading through some stuff last night. They have 3 conference championships. We have 4. They have a great tradition, though. They've been in the top 25 more often than us. We've never been in the AP top 25. We've been in the coaches poll top 25 one time when I was a junior. They've lived in that thing for periods of time. So I'm really excited that we have them here and we don't have to play up there. It's hard to play in Colorado Springs. Now, last year we played with no fans. It was different. There will be a great crowd in here for both them and the Air Force contingency that they have in our city. So it'll make for a great night, but it's a great rivalry. I mean, it's the longest winning streak for either team is 5. The current winning streak for them is 3. We had 3 before them. We lost in 1998 when Fisher DeBerry was the coach. Coach Long's first year, 56-14, and then we went on a string and beat them 4. I mean, it's been back and forth with us. So, and Coach Calhoun, I mean, he does a great job. Go ahead, Roger.
Coach, Air Force has held 6 of the last 7 opponents at less than 20 points.
Mhm.
They're 34th nationally in rushing defense. How do we plan on scoring? How do you plan on stopping the triple option?
What Coach Calhoun has done with their staff in the last few years is they've done a really good job of recruiting athletes on defense. When you used to play an Air Force team, they were going to be in cover 3, they were going to be in cover 2 because they struggled in man coverage. Over the last 10 to 12 years, they play a lot of man coverage. I mean, they'll play zero coverage, which means no free safety because they have confidence in those guys. They do a great job up front. They're very similar to our guys as far as their quick, they're twitchy, they move them around, and then their linebackers are really, really aggressive. Scheme wise, they're very sound and they play very hard. That's why they're having the success they're having. One, they're coached very well and they play hard. I mean, those two things we said around here a lot. The team that plays the hardest, the longest, has the best chance to win. And they play with that same philosophy, and they run to the ball well, and that's why they're in the top 30 in total country. In total defense in the country. We've got to be able to block them up front. We've got to be able to get them on the perimeter, and then we've got to be able to throw the ball. So that means Terry needs to be more aggressive running the ball, and that'll open some of that. We need Bobby and Aaron to make some big plays when they have an opportunity, and Chad. And then we used Bobby in the backfield. We'll probably use some of our slots back there too to give them a chance. So we did last year. If we can get some of those things out on the perimeter, we got to make them miss in space and then consistently move the ball. And then stopping the triple option starts with the fullback. If you don't let the fullback get going, you have a lot better chance. You got to make it. I mean, if he gets going, all of a sudden you got guys worried about things that they don't need to be worrying about. And I mean, we don't traditionally play the triple option like everybody else does. So we've got to do what we do, and our guys have to be assignment. They have to know what to do and how to do it.
Thank you, guys.
Awesome.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Terry should be here any minute.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
All right, we have Terry Wilson here, so we'll just start with some questions. Brandon, you want to start?
Yeah, Terry, just biggest takeaways from the game, and then how you feeling after it?
Yeah, it was a tough loss. Like Coach G was just recently talking about it, it hurt. There's a lot of guys in the locker room that was really upset about that loss, because we knew we could win that game, and we put in a lot of work throughout the week, preparing for the game, and we came up short, and we were making plays, but that second half we just came out dull, I should say. We didn't have that much of a sense of urgency out there on the field, and it showed. So yeah, it was a tough loss.
From your perspective, how have you liked the response after the loss this week in preparing for Air Force?
I mean, I love it. It's how it should be. We got guys moving around, positive energy. And I mean, like I said, I told those guys in the locker room, it starts at practice. and we have to make sure we have the right attitude at practice, so it translates into the game. So I know the guys are ready to bounce back off of that. I mean, it hurts, and you want to get that bad taste out of your mouth. So we're definitely ready to move forward.
What's your vision, the leader of the team, your vision of the rest of the season?
Really, just to take it, a game at a time, each week at a time, and I don't want to look, past, what we have to worry about, but it's really just to take care of what we have to take care of, and do what this team needs to do to be able to win football games. Just making sure that I can keep the guys, the urgency up, being more positive when I talk to the players, and overall just having that positive energy, and just making sure that the guys are, the confidence is up, and just going out there and playing football, having fun, not overthinking anything. And not putting too much pressure on anybody, just going out there and relying on your technique, and relying on everything that we learn at practice. So, really just taking it each week at a time.
Terry, you played a little bit hurt last game. You were a little bit gimpy there. You played through the whole game. You're under duress. How are you feeling about responding? You bounce back. Physically, you're fine, right?
No, yeah, I'm all good. It happens. It's part of the game, but bounce back from it. That's why I'm in treatment 5:45 in the morning, so getting that taken care of. So I'm all good. Yeah. Little hamstring. I was dealing with the hamstring problem, but it's all good though.
Did you ever think, what if I had those guys, those six players in this game? You ever thought about that?
I mean, it's tough that you got those guys out, but at the end of the day, you got to worry about what you have to worry about, and that's who we have on the field at that time. So I mean, it sucks to be able to lose those guys the day before the game, but we have guys that are capable and that can step up in games, and I bet it was kind of tough for them to be able to be like, okay, it's my time now. I got to go out there and I got to perform, with not with not as much as preparation as the starters probably got throughout a week. So it was tough, but that doesn't really matter. Once it's game time, and I'm rocking with who I got on the field.
Can you talk about those guys now, since it still is, unknown with those six guys? Can you talk about their mentality now? And I'm sure you're talking with them a little bit more. Are you feeling a little bit more comfortable? Or they feel a little bit more comfortable? I know you still got some time to prepare, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it takes time. It takes time for those guys to settle in. I mean, they got a lot of stuff thrown at them, this past week. So I feel like they're finally settling in, still staying in their ear, just helping them out with everything that they need to, know about the game plan. But, just really just encouraging them, staying on them. So that they're going to make mistakes, but, that's my job to help them out throughout it. And, don't let them get down on themselves, because it is a lot of information to learn throughout a preparation for the game. So, just being there for the guys.
Terry, you played Air Force before, or what are you learning about him this week?
I've played Air Force when I was at Garden City Community College. We played their prep. I want to say their prep team out in Colorado Springs, 2017. They're a solid team. They have a lot of guys that are disciplined, and I mean they're hard workers. This is recess for them to be able to play football. So they take pride in being able to go out there and play with their brothers. So I know for a fact that they play really hard.
You got really close with Manny, the seniors last year. Had some conversations with recently. What does he express to you?
Yeah, me and Manny are really close. I haven't really got to sit down and talk with him, recently. I know he's bummed out that he wasn't able to play, this weekend. So it was pretty tough. But really, just me and Manny, we're really just some football guys. We love to talk football. Pick each other's brains on what we're thinking on each play. Manny's he's a really hard worker, and he takes it really serious. He watches a lot of film, and I respect that a lot from him. So I haven't got to speak to him recently about the whole situation, but I know he's doing pretty good.
All right, thank you, Terry.
Yep. Thank you guys.
Terry.